And guess who's back after a long break?
Guess who's back after 2 days ago? 3 days ago.
Guess who's 5 minutes ago?
True. We did just...
Well, to be fair, we were doing a quick little test to get our... Hey, why are you on mine?
Here, I'll hide on yours.
No, you can be on...
Nope. Just me, Oos. Oh, come on. Yeet.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Fun day. We got our little drinky poos.
Fun day of doing a whole lot of
I've never seen this Scooby-Doo.
Apparently, our day was spent watching a bunch of Scooby-Doo.
Heck yeah.
And I took a little nap, which I think was a bad idea because now I feel more tired than before I took my nap.
Sucks to suck.
Well, it's funny because my mom was like, oh, like, we should do something today. And it's like, Mom, we are exhausted from yesterday. Like, yeah, we went to an event and you wouldn't think that would take a lot out of you. But it's like, you know, you got and like being all excited.
Adrenaline. I was just making sure that Stream Elements didn't, like, because they didn't send a message again, so I was like, adrenaline.
But, and it's like, you know, you got the adrenaline, like, the excitement of being there, and, like,
Nope.
you know, that takes a lot.
Oh, I'm sideways. Ah, I'm falling.
Takes a lot out of you. Like, I get it. I get what my mom was going for, but she's got to understand it, like...
Just me, Oos.
Like, we're tired.
Yeah. For shizzle.
Well, it'll just give us a reason to come back sometime. Like, go.
Who thinks I should change my name to ROEBRAD78?
No, you're not doing that, I swear. I will punch you.
I already have my own theme song. ROEBRAD78.
No.
I'm gonna make a Rizzle Bizzle emote now.
For those of you wondering how that came about, I think that came about after we had some scooters. It was an energy drink mixed with whatever.
Infusion.
Yeah. I think I banned him from getting those ever again.
What's funny is I'm gonna get one immediately when I get home.
Oh, we don't drive.
We're gonna have to drive through Oski just to go. No, we won't.
No, we drove through.
There's other places that have scooters though.
Oh God, help me.
Scooters near me. I could get it at Starbucks.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
They don't have things like that. Trust me.
They could.
They don't.
When I go there, they will.
No, they won't.
I'll be like, hey, ROEBRAD78's here.
And they'll be like, who?
They'll be like, no, we got free coffee last time we went somewhere. Yeah. Thanks to me.
It's not. Wow.
Boom! Moose Caboose. Only on my channel can you get these. Hi, how are you?
He's my buddy. He's my traveling buddy.
We got you a new bear too.
What?
Yeah.
See? And we got him.
We got her a Valentine's Day bear, but we kept it in the car because we didn't want to bring another thing that we have to bring back. We already put our...
Made this one at the mall.
Oh yeah, that's something we also got.
America.
We were discussing what all we need to take out tomorrow. We got bathroom stuff to pick up too.
Well, because I figured we'd probably want to brush our teeth tonight and...
Nah, who brushes their teeth?
You're gross.
I like them nice and dark and black.
That means they're going to fall out of your head. You're gross.
Your teeth ain't hurting, you ain't brushing them right.
Your teeth hurting means you ain't brushing them, period.
Let's see. Time to shave on stream?
No, I will punch you. You're not shaving.
This is our little bathroom.
Our toiletry bag, if you will.
Bag. Let's see what we use. Nothing's in it. It's probably empty. Nope, just makeup stuff.
Yeah.
Toothpaste. My toothbrush is out here because we got those little toiletry kits, and they came with this exact same colored toothbrush because you gotta love that.
Right.
I think we can pack this up already.
Why he's showing the toiletries, I don't know. Pack what?
Shaving razor. Where's the cap for it?
It might have fallen in the garbage. I don't know.
Oh, it might have gotten thrown away. Because she's there, falling into the garbage.
Yeah, just put it in there, I guess.
I guess.
Why are
We don't
you?
need these anymore.
Yeah, we do. Just why not? In case we go. Like, do you actually have like a toiletry bag?
Yeah, came while I went home.
I mean,
You
you
used
do.
to travel all the time, Pedro. Come on, man. You know me. I love leaving the house.
Don't lie. You hate leaving the house.
Oh. Let's see. You're gonna need your toothbrush. Or
That's
your
not-
toothpaste.
Where's my toothbrush?
It's in there.
Well, and just think, after the morning, we could just throw away the
Do you
tooth.
brush your hair in the morning?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna need my
Why don't we
phone.
just leave the toiletry bag for the morning and we could just...
leaving it in here. I'm just closing it all up.
Yeah, and our little toiletry bags came with little combs, or mine did.
I did too.
But mine's a little white comb.
Mine was black.
Is it me, or is it now finally the room starting to feel cool?
Hey, Stream Elements came back. Welcome to the chat, Stream Elements.
Does the room feel cooler now?
Oh, definitely.
Like, what the heck?
It might get hot again because we're drinking. Because last time it got hot because we were drinking. So. Who wants the last Creamfield donut? I don't think Fidget likes them for sure.
I do, but
He insisted on me having it.
I'll eat it.
Do you need all of this stuff? This is the spray, right?
Right. No. I mean, that can...
I mean, two are the same.
Right. You can put...
This one's for this.
Leave out the cotton candy one.
Okay. I was gonna say you could use both of them to make sure. Just we use. We had mini toothbrush and mini soap. Look at this itty bitty soap.
Yeah, let's take the little itty bitty soap. Well, okay, and why I thought
Itty bitty soap.
to get like extra
They don't know what
shampoo and soap and whatnot, because usually you get like the little bottles and it's like
this
I
place-
got a lot of hair. That itty bitty bottle ain't gonna do jack and or crap for it, but this
This place, the Candlewood Sweets in Indianapolis downtown, they set you up. They got the nice little spritzy bottles too.
yeah, it's like
Except
a
the
cool,
body wash, it was
a cool
empty.
little like setup of in the shower they had shampoo, conditioner, and soap. And over by the sink, like I haven't seen this, they had same kind of thing that's all like
I
hand
didn't
pump
even
stuff,
use
and
these.
it's
I didn't
they
use
have
these.
hand soap and lotion, which thank God they have lotion because I didn't pack any. So one of those things I forgot.
Yeah, I didn't even use our own little mini soaps because I was like, well, I'll just use theirs. But I used my body wash because theirs was ugly. Do you think we should throw theirs away?
No, I would just leave it. Or if anything, if we see them, just let them know that the stuff is low. Because I'm sure they have, like,
Low or non-existing.
because I'm sure housekeeping has, replacements.
I don't think you use this. Any of these soaps over here.
Nope. And I love how I bought 2 travel shampoo, 2 conditioner, and I don't even think I used.
Yeah,
All
we
of
didn't know
it.
how long it would last.
Alright, and to be fair, like I said, since I have a lot of hair, I need a lot of shampoo. So.
She's a hairy woman.
A lot of hair on my head. Don't
She's
listen
like
to
Drew
him.
McIntyre.
That hair on his chest has got to go.
You want to be like the Miz, all spoiled up.
I mean, if he ever needs any help doing that, I'll just
I'll
say
be right there for him. I mean, what?
I'll be right there for him.
Chat's like, where'd Dad go? Just want to make sure that.
It's just a fidget stream. Oh, do fidget stream.
I want to make sure that everything's good. I'll probably take a shower again in the morning just to be clean.
I mean, I might just do like a wash my body in the shower and not my hair.
Wash my body.
Hey, it's not that kind of stream.
Wash my body. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
think everything's good. Yes.
Are we gonna leave like the cough drops out and stuff?
Oh, for sure. They're almost out.
Did you leave my toothbrush in the bathroom?
Yep.
Yeah, just I guess leave that out here for now so we don't forget it.
Yep.
And what's cool about that little toiletry bag, it's actually a makeup bag.
Yeah.
I got it at my work before we left. And it's pretty convenient, I think.
Convenient.
It's almost like a little suitcase. It's got like a little zipper part where you like unzip it and a little flap comes down, and then it's got a little side zipper, and that one's like really deep. And
I feel like I'm on a 2-camera talk show.
Oh.
Talk to this one, talk to that one. Talk to this one,
kind
talk
of
to that one.
camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2.
Should I back mine up so. Well, yours was fine, but.
I know. I felt like it was like, hello, we're here.
Oh yeah, 2-camera.
Hey, I mean,
Hey. Hey. Cheers, everybody.
clink.
I don't want to hit their glasses. One time I went with my buddy. He was having his, well, I guess you could say it was his bachelor party, but it was literally the night before his wedding. And I was his best man. And we went to this bar, and they gave us glass cups for our beers instead of just giving us beer. I don't know. But it was like, it was a packed place because we were in Minnesota. We were in one of the bigger cities. I can't even remember what city it was called. But anyways, I think it's Tacoma. But I'm not for sure.
You were looking at the wrong person. For that.
Yay! Showing some fidget love. Then showing
snap.
some ROEBRAD love.
Oh, snap.
Accept it or lose it over there.
Oh, snap.
Then hi to the streamer. Like, oh, yay! Already put my Yeet shirt in the car, so.
Yep.
But anyways, we were drunk, and they're like, it's closing time, or last call, this or that. And it was like crowded to get back into the place, and we still had our glasses. And we're like, ah, crap, we don't want to go in there. And so we just exited with our glasses already. And like, 2 people were like, hey, those guys still have their glasses. And we just started sprinting with them. Run! And then we get back to the place unscathed. And he's like, way to go, man, we made it. And I went, shh, and I just shattered his glass.
All of that for nothing.
Mine was still good. But his shattered in his hand. Just me, Oos. That sounds so good. It'd be cool if we could just be like, and here's a little video of it now. And it just shows up.
Right.
So we watched a lot of Boomerang on this trip.
And by watch, we mean we watched it through our eyelids a lot
Yep.
of the time.
A lot of Tom and Jerry. A lot of Scooby-Doo.
And an occasional sprinkling in of like Looney Tunes.
And we had Jetsons like once. We had Flintstones maybe like twice or so. But other than that, I really haven't had much of a variety. It was mainly Tom and Jerry though.
Right.
For over like 24 hours, it was Tom and Jerry. It's on a Scooby kick right now though.
Not complaining.
No, Scooby was my favorite show growing up. She's trying to figure out what's shaking the room.
Quit shaking your foot.
Hey,
Stop.
gotta use that energy somehow.
Why do you have so much energy?
Why not?
Did you secretly sneak a Red Bull?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, see, if I were to drink one now, like, I'll be out till, like, 2, 3 in the morning.
Sounds good.
No, not when we gotta wake up at, like, the butt-ass crack of dawn to leave tomorrow.
Butt ass crack of dawn. Yeah, but you don't have to drive. I do.
Yeah, but when we were on our way here, somebody wouldn't let me sleep, and I have a feeling it's gonna be quite the same thing of somebody not letting me sleep.
I'm here. Crocodile tears. Anybody? Crocodile tears?
I'm not crying, I'm just stating the facts.
Sound like a salty Drew McIntyre over there.
I may or may not be.
Salty. So how's it feel to be back on the stream? With your nostril up like this. Hey, thanks for the follow. How's it going? Hope all is well.
Damn.
Me and the lady got engaged. And she's streaming on her end as well, but yeah, we got engaged, and now we just here talking about our story.
I guess he liked it, so he put a ring on it.
Oh, snap.
There.
There's the ring. Show it over there, too. There's the ring.
There's the ring.
It's
Sorry.
so sparkly, you can't even see it on screen.
Because of the dang desk light.
Right? I like it. Fancy. Oh, my God, gorge. Thank you. But yes, basically, I waited until the main event was over. And you know how they all like to do the big fireworks presentation at the end of the show. So right after the fireworks went off, I asked her, well, did you have fun? She said, yes, I did. And I said, would you like to continue to have fun? As I pulled the ring out of my pocket. And I got down on a knee and I asked her if she'd marry me. And she said, I'll think about it.
I was like, why not?
Maybe.
No, I don't listen to him.
Nah, the video shows otherwise, but
You
we had our own little crowd. There was a lot of people that were filming Jey Uso celebrating, and then they just turned their phone and was filming us instead.
Yeah, in our YouTube video, you can hear, like, there's this one, like, oh my God! And then, like, as they were in, like, the row in front of us, and then as they were walking out, congratulations, and, like, some girl, I obviously had no idea who she was, you know, congratulations, gives me a hug, and it's like, thanks.
Yeah.
But I figure, like, that's how people are when they see people getting engaged or whatnot, like, in public. So, I mean, like, I get it, but, like,
right.
Definitely an experience.
She was saying congratulations to me, and I gave her a fist bump. But,
he does not touch him.
Oh, But then we went over to a famous YouTuber who's got like 1.3 million subscribers, and we announced our engagement to him, and we celebrated with a selfie with him as well.
I'm lucky he got them long arms.
Yeah, he's the one like, oh, let me take the picture.
Well, because at first it was him and the YouTuber, and it's like, well, like, what about
I
me?
said, let's take a picture, and she was like staying on the other side. I'm like, get on over here.
And then, so ROEBRAD's trying to do it, and he's like, oh, let me do it. I got longer arms.
And
it's
she's
like,
a tall guy.
And it's like, indeed you do.
He's
I'd
cool.
say he's kind of lanky. A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. Not too bad.
But he's a cool guy.
Definitely nice. It would have been nice to see the rest of them, but...
Yeah. I mean, one of them we've seen, 3 times already?
Hey, we show our love.
Yeah. But if you guys haven't heard of the Vibe Guys, definitely check them out sometime.
And they love.
Yeah. Love and love and love.
And you got one eyebrow hair that's, like, really annoying me.
Uh-oh. When you get the tweezers out, she can pull my hair out and stream again. Had her make my eyebrows on fleek one time on stream.
It was, like, Monday before we left.
It was a Monday Night Raw watch stream.
Yeah.
Which we're going to start doing more of that, too, where we watch Raw. Yeah. We watched Monday Night Raw live so we can chat with y'all.
And then stream so y'all can see our reactions and stuff.
And the night before the wrestling event, we went to a really fancy restaurant. And we got some good food. And then afterwards, we were walking and we met some wrestlers out there, too.
Well,
We didn't talk to them,
But we
saw them. We're like, we met them with our eyes.
Yeah, we made googly eyes at them, like little hearts.
Luckily, that one car was really tinted, so the one didn't see us at all. Which is weird, because, like, we saw Mick Foley, but there was no, like, announcement that he was there.
But are you sure that was him and not someone that looks like him?
Oh, it's definitely him.
I mean...
There's no mistaking him. He's a one-of-a-kind.
Okay, and when we saw Sami Zayn, I literally...
It was even, like, his, you know, isms. It was basically everything.
Well, I don't know his isms.
He was wearing, like, the flannel, like, a little off-kilter. He was on his phone, because he's always on his phone nowadays, because he does cameos all the time. He's, like, one of the #1 cameo people.
And then, so we were done with our lunch, and then we're walking, coming up this way, and then we see someone going down this way, and he's like, oh, look, that's Sami Zayn, and, you know, like,
She's
not trying to be like, oh, yeah, whatever, yep, right, whatever. And so I thought, like, he meant it's someone that looks like him, and he's like, no, and then, like, I look over, and then, like, as I do, like, he's looking at us, looking at him, looking at us, sort of thing.
So I, like, tried to be casual, like.
And he was with his wife and kid, and yeah, granted, it would have been nice to, like, go over there, you know, like, chat him up a little bit, but, you know, we're of the respect of, like, you know, yeah, they're a famous, you know, WWE superstar, but, you know, he's with his family, you know, probably doesn't get to spend a whole lot of time with them, you know, given the nature of the job.
Yeah, we just let him be. But I gave him the wave. I went like this, and then I saw him kind of lean over to his wife and, like, smile, like, oh, those people noticed us.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta like, I mean, we didn't make it, like, super obvious or anything, so, I mean, he's gotta like that, I'm sure.
He seems like a nice guy, though. I bet he would have...
404 error loading game. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Fidget's got errors in the chat.
404 errors, apparently. Page not loaded. Please try again. Oh, where's burned fish? Is little spinny emote.
If it let us chat on here, we would. They need to update, make it easier.
But
the easiest way to do it would be this. Go here and put it in. But then it always does that to my...
Personal visitors. Doing all right? That's good.
Hopefully nobody gets motion sickness.
I did.
And then it made my chat non-existent. Oh, congrats. Thanks. Thank you. Congrats to you for coming in and congrating up. Nah, just like an infinite loop of congrats.
Thank you, and thank you.
Woo-woo. Yeah.
Sorry, we are enjoying some adult beverages, so...
Yeah, we just got started, though.
I'm always a little loopy, I feel. Whether it's from drinking or lack of sleep.
Where are we from? We're originally from... Well, Fidget's originally from California.
Originally from California.
But we're usually in Iowa. Small town in Iowa. But right now we're in Indianapolis at a hotel because we just got done...
With the...
Royal Rumble.
Rumble.
That's where I proposed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, USA. Whereabouts on this little marble are you from?
Yeah. Always love to see people come around the world.
Yeah. The Netherlands? Oh, right on.
Hey, we got a lot of friends in the Netherlands.
Cheers.
Shout out to Dougie.
Yeah.
That's my best friend from the Netherlands. We gotta stop taking those.
No, just don't go, hi-ya!
I can't help it. Once I get a couple in me, I just wanna, wha-bam! It ain't a real tink. And maybe it's the Irish in me.
I'm Irish too. Like...
Oh, if you guys haven't seen already, there's a First We Feast Hot Ones versus. It was Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, and that was hilarious.
We are drinking, was it the mango?
Yeah.
New Amsterdam mango vodka, and I'm mixing mine with some
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, and I believe my co-host over to my right is
Your co-fiance.
is mixing same vodka and mixing his with some Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Peppy.
Yeah.
Which, once she's out of that Coca-Cola, we don't have any more Coca-Cola.
No, but I think I got
bit.
a decent amount.
I think I still got a little bit left in my cup, too.
And, we just like to hang out with the chat.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we don't get sloppy. We just, have a couple and just to have fun. And,
Agreed.
it's all in moderation.
Moderation. Well, as long as you're not, like, making it a channel point or you're putting in your thing, every sub equals a drink or something like that.
Yeah, to me, I'm sorry.
That's banning material, but you can classically drink on stream. You just don't want to make a, moderate. We're responsible. We're older people, like we.
You just had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Well, I'm not just saying like older. Like even like when I was young, I was still kind of old at heart. I was raised by.
No, open your eye.
My grandpa, who was like 80 years old. So like, even when I was young, I was fairly more interested in, hanging out with older people than.
How old are we? Like, do you mind?
I don't mind. I will be 30 this year, so I'm 29 at the moment. But June 27th, I will be 30.
And I am 39.
39. So she'll be the big 4-0 this year. Hello.
Howdy.
Howdy. Thank you for the follow yesterday, or the other day. Yesterday. I don't know. I lost count.
The other day.
Same. Yeah, I'm always trying to support as many people as I can and trying to show the love. I mean, I always tell people that...
it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Sorry, yesterday was a big day for us. We went to the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, and after the main event, I stole the spotlight and I proposed to this lady. There's the ring.
There's the ring. And here's the ring.
Whoop whoop. I told her she's got to make a channel point on hers now, where she's streaming on this end, but I told her she's got to make a channel point on hers where she can be like, or people can be like, show the ring, and then she can just be like, here it is.
Oh, so on my side, they're not too far behind. They're 27, so.
Oh, nice.
Around your
there we
age.
go.
Right on.
Heck yeah.
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 I love that. Not that old. Makes me feel good.
Yeah. We actually met, 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago. We met. Her and I had a mutual streamer that played Among Us, and he'd always do like the Discord chat stuff, which back when it wasn't like toxic to play Among Us. Which now you can play it without toxicity because you can do the easy chat stuff. But
and it was way, way, way less toxic. I feel like it always was.
We all had our own groups that would actually like join you in. I wish we could get back to that where people would join Discords and actually like chat with you while you're playing games with them.
Right.
Maybe we'll get back to that. That's the problem when you take like kind of a hiatus, because like I was still kind of on and off with my streams, but they definitely weren't regular. But we're trying to get more regular. But that's what the fiber's for. That's why we got Fiber One. We're sponsored by Fiber One.
Well, we got that Metamucil.
Yeah, we do got the Metamucil juice. But yeah, we met on Among Us, and that's why I always tell people our relationship has been sus since the beginning.
Yeah.
So.
I do like Lockdown. It's a different version. Oh, see, we're out of the loop. Like, I haven't heard.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different versions on it too.
I mean, that's cool.
I like the imposters on Fortnite. It's literally Among Us, but you get to play as your Fortnite characters.
What a way.
I think it's
yeah, definitely, right?
But yeah, I definitely think we should get a group together on Fortnite or something and do like, because I got a creator code, so we could do like custom lobbies sometime and we could play imposters. That would be fun.
Yeah, and then after that day, him and I kind of started hanging out in Discord. Like, it just, kind of started out as like, hey, how are you doing, sort of chats, and then...
Yeah, and I remember, like, in my stream, because Fidget didn't stream back then.
No.
But she was an avid viewer she was like a GOAT mod in people's chats. But...
And then it just kind of bloomed from there. Like, we would video chat, like, every day, like, on his way home from work, because he worked the night shift.
Yep.
So we'd talk on...
Well, before that, it was kind of like, like, my streams are pretty laid back, and I was like, if anybody wants to join me in the Discord and just chat with me while I play games or something... Because I'm always like that. Like, when I'm playing games, I'm like, yeah, you can come on in here as long as you're respectful or whatnot.
Excuse me.
And, like, Fidget's, when she first was in Twitch, she wasn't real outgoing because she, has anxiety and suffers with depression.
But it was more or less the anxiety side of it, you know, because I felt like,
I don't really know this person.
Right, and then it's like, what if I say something stupid that's going to be on the internet, and the internet's forever? And still, like, now, like, I'm a streamer, I'm an affiliated streamer and all of that. It's like, that's still always in the back of my mind, but now it's like,
hey,
who cares?
That's cool.
Thumbs up.
I like that.
Not trying to get political, but how do you guys feel about the current situation?
Yeah, we don't,
Oh, and thank you for the follow.
Yeah, appreciate you following Fidget.
Much love.
But we don't get too political here. It's it's just one of those things where it's like not much we can do about it.
I mean, it is what it is. I hate saying that, but
here's to another 4 years, I guess.
Right. And just gonna kind of leave that subject right there, because again, everyone has their own views, and you're entitled to your own views and opinions.
Yep.
I don't have to like them. I don't have to agree with them. And you know what? That's the great part about being an adult.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
I mean, I think for the most part, if you look deep into somebody, there's always something you're going to not like and something you're going to like. But, it is what it is. We can't, like...
Well, and thank you for your understanding, and it's like, even, like, back home, like, in California, like, my best friend, like, with her, like, with my friends, a couple things I don't talk about are religion, politics, and, like, money. Like, those are, like, 3 major, like, no-nos that I don't talk about,
I agree with that.
But...
Yeah. So... Yeah, this whole trip I've had the ring here in this wallet. Well, when I was driving here, I had it in my pocket because I was like, I don't want to put it in my wallet. And I had it in my pocket, and then it was like falling into the side of the crease of my pocket, and I was worried that it was going to fall out and fall into the middle of the seat, because I'm the driver of this 6-hour plus drive.
Yeah, I was passenger.
And I'm like, oh, I don't want that to happen, because then I'm gonna be digging for it, and she's gonna be like, oh, what are you looking for?
Oh, let me help you.
Yeah. So I was like, when she wasn't looking, she was like half asleep. I like took it out of my pocket, and I was gonna put it. Well, I originally put it in my other pocket, and she's like, what do you got there? I said, nothing. And she actually left it, so I was like, oh, cool.
I think I was more out of it than anything, because I wanted to sleep. But,
and then, so...
Well, yeah, and that's, like, pretty much what we do. If someone does ask, like, a political question, we say, like, we don't talk about that here, because it'll get messy real quick and in a hurry, and that's not, like, what we're about. I know some people are, like to push the hot topic buttons, and
Yep.
really I'm not really one of those kind of people.
But
I'm more shy.
When Fidget first came to my chats, because first off, the first day I met Fidget, we were playing Among Us, and she got a little drunk.
Speaking of, you want to get me another
And
one?
it was kind of funny. And I was enjoying the chat. It was funny.
Yeah,
And,
me being a little...
You know, as one does back in the pandemic era, when you have fun time with people and a stream and make a memory with them, you're like, oh, I'm going to friend this person on Discord.
And that's what he did, and to be honest, like, I'm one of those people who are extremely, like, awkward when it comes to small talk, believe it or not, as I'm doing a just chatting stream, go figure.
This is the last of it.
Nice.
And bottle we gotta take with us.
And with him, like, I was,
That's what we were drinking.
like, I really enjoyed his company, like, just a little bit we had interacted with each other, and I was like, great, like, this is one person, like, I'm going to talk to, and then it's, like, going to fizzle out. Because, again, it's like, once you go over, like, the basic generic, like, talking points, it's like, what do you do now?
Yeah.
But, it wasn't awkward or nothing.
And, yeah, I was streaming, I think, Dead by Daylight one day. And I said, yeah, if anybody wants to join me in the chat and kind of hang out with me. And all of a sudden I hear, bloop. And I'm like, oh, somebody joined. And it was Fidget.
And,
Like, she's always said that, like, when I stream, it's like, I make the game a little different than most people, where it's like a little more like, oh, he looks at it differently. So, and like, I don't really get upset on streams and stuff about gameplay and whatnot. And then I try to play games differently because, the object of the game may be, do this to win, but then I'm like, well, if I just do this, that's a win for me, kind of thing. And,
but, yeah.
I made her play games that she never really thought she'd ever get into.
Well, and then even still being in the Discord with him, I was still, kind of shy and, like, really didn't say a whole lot. And I don't know how this dude managed to get me to come out of my shell, but he did.
I don't know. I had a lot of friends growing up that were, like, the non-talkative.
Or kind of shy at first.
And, like, I think it's because I'm a really talkative person. So, like, they listen to me, and then when they do finally speak, I'm like, okay, I'll listen. Like,
and then, the more, like, he streamed, and then, like, if I was, around, like, if I wasn't, like, at work or whatever, I'd always pop in, at least, like, in the chat, say hi.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of went from there, and then on hanging out in the Discord, like I said, it started out
we had a streak.
Like, it kind of, like, started out as, just chat, like, just messaging back and forth, and then I was like, well, great, this is how it starts, and then it fizzles out, and, it didn't, and then eventually I was like, hey, you want a video chat? Because, I mean, obviously, like, I knew he wasn't catfishing because, hello, like, streamer,
Yeah.
But,
And we'd seen pictures of each other.
Right, but pictures, I mean, I could have shown you any picture.
'Tis true.
But,
Brad is a talkative person. No way. I know,
right?
I was surprised when I found out.
But, so sometimes it's a feat just to get him to stop talking so you can throw your 2 cents in.
Nah, that never happens.
Anyways, and so, yeah, and then we did this thing where, like, we would sleep watch, like, a movie or a show or something, and then, like, at that point, he was using his mom's old laptop.
Yeah.
And so he would literally, like, flip the laptop towards the TV.
And she'd have to watch it in backwards reverse mode, kind of.
Snap.
Which, you're going to sleep, so you ain't really watching anyways. We just like having sound in the background.
It's dollar bill.
Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks for the congrats.
Oh, so there's the ring.
Whoop, whoop. We should make it a new thing.
And
Whenever
then
someone says congrats, you have to
there's-
bring it
Show
up.
it again over here so no one on my side's feeling left out.
Like, hey, over here. Pick me.
But, and then, yeah.
We did that for about a year. But I was having a pretty rough year when we actually met. Because the year 2021 was an interesting year for me because I lost 6 family members in the same year. And I remember literally saying to my best friend, oh, 2021, or I said, well, 2020 is over. I said, now it's 2021, can't be any worse than 2020. Because 2020 was a pretty bad year.
Yeah, you never want to say
Yeah,
that.
I got proved wrong. So I had both my grandparents pass away on my mom's side, which on my dad's side, they were already passed. So no grandparents for me anymore.
I mean, no offense, why did you make watching things together so complicated? Because at that point in time, we didn't know if there was a better way to, like, watch things together.
We're not tech savvy.
I mean, we are, but not, like, super...
We're moderate tech.
Yeah. But, so at that point in time, we did the best we could with what we had.
Right.
So...
And plus, my PC was slow.
Yeah.
So, it only worked for a certain while. Then I had to start doing it off, or just doing my phone while she shared her screen.
Right. But sorry to interrupt. I was trying to answer them.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I lost my 2 grandparents that I had left. Then I lost my family dog on my dad's side and my family cat on my mom's side. And then I lost I guess would be a great uncle, because he was my grandpa's brother on my dad's side, which I saw him like all the time during family reunions and stuff. And like one of my family members from that side of the group was a year younger than me, and she was always in the grade below me or whatnot. And like I remember in grade school, me and her first met during school. Like I'd never seen her before, or at least never had a memory of seeing her because I was a little kid. I remember we met in grade school, and like we hit it off perfectly. Like we had the same personalities and everything, and we're like, hey, you want to be good friends or whatnot? And we're like, yeah, sure. And then we went home, and our parents said, well, you guys are actually related. And it was like, that's the best news ever. Like I have a new friend and we're related. And so like I was always close with her, and then like I remember when I went to college, she ended up going to the same college, and we hung out a little bit there. I remember one time we went to we went and drove around different towns and went to during Halloween time. We went to haunted houses and haunted courses or whatever, mazes and stuff. We had a fun time. But so I thought that was kind of cool. And so like I was kind of close to that side of the family a little bit. And so when he passed away, and then last person to pass away was my best friend, that at the beginning of the year I said, well, 2021 can't get any worse than 2020. And then one of the last things I was doing that year was speaking at his eulogy, so that was memorial. But crazy year.
3 days after.
And I remember, like, during the summer of that time, I had lost, like, I think 4 or 5 of the family members at that point. Because, like, a bunch of them happened around January to, like, May. And then August was the last 2. And I remember Fidget actually asked me out first, because we'd been hanging out every day, every night. And I told her that, I'm going through a lot of stuff emotionally. I said, I got a lot of baggage to deal with right now. I said, you keep looking for someone, but I am not in the place to be dating someone right now. I got too much going on. I said, so if you want to keep looking for someone, go ahead, but I am not there right now. And she just waited. She waited, and
Well, and I was also there, once you said that, and it's like, that, okay, that does make sense. And then, I pretty much dropped that
Yeah.
after that. And then it's like, hey, if you need a friend, like, I'm here. Like,
Yeah,
I will
it was
be
kind
that.
of a balls in your court now. I feel like that's the thing. Like if I like, cause in your situation, if I asked someone out and they kind of, it wasn't necessarily a rejection, but it was like, well, it was kind of, if you want to be blunt about it, it was a rejection, but it was like, I'm not in the right state of mind right now, and I don't want to put somebody through this.
And I think that's what made, well, not necessarily made is the right word, but, me respect you more, because you could have been like, oh, yeah, let's get together. But, you could have been
Or
like
I could
that.
have been the rude person that said, no, I'm not into you, or something like that.
Right. But,
which obviously wasn't the case, but.
Right. And, and like I said, if coming from a guy that can be like that honest and like upfront and not be a jerk about it, it's like, hey, like kind of like my bad,
Yeah.
And like I said, after that, it's like I, left that
but yeah,
part of it alone.
Like I was saying, is like when somebody like kind of tells you no after you like shot your shot, I feel like it's like, well, now it's in your court because like I'm not going through that again.
But honestly, though, like I did it. I don't know. It's weird to explain, but like it didn't really feel like a rejection.
Right, but I was just saying, like
I'm
sure you were like, well, I'm not gonna be the one to ask again.
Right. And I'm glad that I could offer that. Even though at that point in time it was like a digital like shoulder for you. You know, I felt like that's better than nothing.
And I was like, I actually, it was like 2 months before I asked her out. I actually knew I was going to ask her out, but I was like, I already told her no once. I was like, I better make it special now. So I told my friends, and I told a lot of friends that I was going to ask her out on when it turned midnight on her birthday. Because I got off at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she...
was midnight my time.
Yeah, she was a 2-hour difference from California. So when I got off, it was around at midnight time. So I remember I even told my best friend like a couple months before that I was going to ask her out. And he's like, that's awesome. Like, happy for her. She seems like the right one. So like the fact that I got his approval before he passed away was also awesome. And, yeah, we started dating on her birthday, and then it was, 3 days later, he passed away. So.
Which sucks, because I really would have loved to have met him.
Yeah, you only got to hang out with him, like, once in, like, Discord chat.
Right.
He was kind of venturing off with new friends, because, like, when I met him, he was also not outgoing, and he didn't have a lot of friends, and so like we hit it off perfectly, like instantly, and then we kind of became like inseparable. But like, like he was going through a lot of family issues and stuff like that, and like I'd helped him out a lot, but at the same time, like I was doing my own stuff, and like I feel bad because at one point I told him, I said, I encourage you to find more friends than just me, because like I was like, like you're an awesome person, you got a great personality. I said I want to see you be able to hang out with more people, and like like, yeah, you have he had some emotional baggage or whatnot and like stuff, and I was like, like I'm not the only person that can help you with this, because I'm not the only one that like I don't have the answers for everything. And I was like, you need to meet people with the similar interests and stuff like that can actually like help you out and stuff. And so like he was actually hanging out with people that like had common interests. Like he was big into cars and stuff. That's why like around a certain time of the year I always like playing like car mechanic games, because like it reminds me of him and whatnot, because he was big into repairing his own car, and like he was big into cars. So it's like my way of keeping a memory on him. But so he started hanging out with other people, and me and him kind of were like moderating our hangout time, kind of. And so I felt bad towards the end because like I wasn't there very much. But I had somebody tell me something that kind of helped me, comfort me through it, was when somebody who is suffering with a mental illness cares about somebody or really likes somebody, they try to distance themselves from them, because if they're going to decide to take their own life or whatnot, they don't want that person to be around to stop them. So I feel like maybe that's why he was distancing himself from me too. But it was still hard. I think I went 6 months in a row with just crying every day. Like, little things would remind me. And yeah, I still think about him all the time.
Oh, we got real deep.
We did. Our channels have always been pretty deep. But yeah, that was part of our journey, from the 3 years we've been together. That was a big start of it. Literally 3 days after we started dating, it was like, there's the big baggage. Like, again, I was trying not to bring her into anything, and as soon as we started dating, there was something again.
From happy day to...
Yeah, I got 3 days of joy, and then it was 6 months of being sad again.
But, so how long, like, we were together, what, two years before I came out here?
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Yep. And so, we did the whole long distance thing, and if any of y'all have done it, you know how hard that crap can be.
It's not just hard by yourself, but it's hard when you have people that want to be interested, quote unquote, like people like in your real life, like IRL people that say you work with or you hang out with. They want to be interested in your relationship life, but then they also are like cynical about stuff. So like, especially as a guy myself, like I'd go to work and people would ask about like, oh, what's your relationship status, or what's this and that, and I'm like, oh, I have a girlfriend, but she lives in California, and like most other guys are gonna be like, okay, yeah, like
give you a hard time about
oh yeah, you don't know my girlfriend, she goes to a different school, kind of thing. Like when you're in school.
Right.
So yeah, it was hard. I basically just ignored everybody that had anything negative to say.
I mean,
which was again still hard to do.
I mean, of my close little circle of friends, like they were all happy for me, and it's like.
And then I always had the people that were like, oh, long distance never works. Long distance never works. Which I already knew was false, because my brother, who's been married for 10 plus years, met his wife long distance. Me and my brother, when we were in high school, we were in 4-H, which is like a farming community thing, at a club here in the United States. And they have a program in there where you can go to Washington, D.C., go on a trip to Washington, D.C. And so me and my brother went to Washington, D.C., and we basically got to be there for like 2 weeks or whatnot.
Oh, wow.
We got to visit all the cool things, the memorials. We got to visit the White House.
Oh, snap.
And, they had little games for each charter or whatnot, and they had like a ball there where we danced and stuff. And my brother met what soon would be his girlfriend when he got back. He met her there, and I'm like, what I think's cool is like, out of all the family members, I'm the only person that was there when they met. I remember when they first talked to each other, and my brother being nervous, and he's like, "This girl's the one. I'm telling you, this and that," and like, they would Skype every night. Then my brother was in the Marines, and after he finished basic training, he was basically like, I have to propose to her because I don't know what's going to happen to me when I go to Afghanistan. So he's like, he basically asked her parents, like, can I marry your daughter before I ship out, basically. And so he married her, and they've been together since. So I believed in long distance. I didn't have a problem with it. I knew it takes a strong-willed person to go through it. I was more concerned about her.
Why?
Because you suffer with anxiety and depression.
I mean, yeah, it's...
But, like, if I'm getting, like, all the, like, oh, this doesn't work on my end, I'm assuming that you're getting something like that, too, and it's...
Well, no, like I said, though, like, the close little knit group of friends that I told, like, they were all, like, super happy for me and
so
stuff.
You told
and
a close-knit group. I was telling everybody. Everybody that wanted to listen.
Right, and, like, with my mom, like, I told her, like, yeah, like, this is what's going on, and, typical questions, like, oh, what does he do for work, this, that, whatever, and, I answered...
Flintstones.
I answered her, and,
But, yeah.
I was more worried about telling my dad. Because my dad, well...
So, yeah, doing calls, playing games together, eating or cooking food at the same time is lovely. Sometimes you just want to be able to hold... Oh, I agree. Like, me personally, I'm not a very intimate person.
Not
but
the touchy-feely...
I grew up with a weird family. Like, I grew up in a family where it was all dudes. So, like, it was me and my brother, which we basically just raised each other. And then it was my dad, which was home when he could, but he was providing for 2 kids on his own, basically. And then it was my grandpa, who was he was late 70s, early 80s when I was growing up. And he was, like, he would have been a quarter Native American, so, like, he was a little out there. But I loved him to death, and, like, he was, like, one of my best friends growing up. Like, I know that it's weird to say, like, family member your best friend, but, like, I would sit there and just chat with him all day. When I got off school, I would go sit in a recliner with him and just chat with him all day. Like, he'd be in one chair, I'd be in the other.
But,
Yeah, I agree. Like, I like getting my back scratched when we're about to go to bed and stuff. That's about the most physical I get. But, like, I remember my mom always said that she remembered my grandparents were always, like, on her side, were always, like, anytime they saw me and my brother as little kids, they're, like, beg for hugs and stuff. And me and my brother would be like, because, like, we grew up in the country and stuff, and, like, with our dad, who Fidget's met, he's very outdoorish, like.
And I mean this with the utmost respect about your dad, because I do like your dad.
He's a nice guy.
But he seems kind of like a hard ass, like a little bit, like.
He's got his way with things, like we were definitely raised a certain way.
But it was, and I
wouldn't change it, but.
I told him this story. It was, I was at work one day, and I was in charge of watching one of the self-checkout areas, and then I didn't notice his dad, but, like, I look, and I'm, like, trying not to be weird or, like, super obvious about it anyways, and I'm like, is that his dad? And then he must have, like, felt me looking at him, because you know how sometimes you get that feeling.
Talking about when you're at Wendy's?
No, at my work.
Oh, yeah.
And, he looked up, and I happened to be just, like, looking in, like, his general direction, not looking at him. We made eye contact, and I was like, hey, how's it going? And then, like, I walked over to him, said hi and all of that, and,
yeah.
I mean, he's approachable, and I mean,
of course.
like, so, I mean, that was kind of cool seeing your dad out in the wild, so to speak.
Yeah, because usually the wild that you'd find him in is in the middle of the forest.
Like, hunting.
Yeah. Like,
so,
I don't know how many of you guys have seen the show Duck Dynasty, but that's basically what my childhood was like.
So how do you mean it's usually harder for women in long-distance relationships?
Yeah, I would agree with that, because, like, Men, I don't know. I don't want to, what would you say? Genderize it or something like that.
But I will say this though, like when him and I got together, I like I've known this guy for like ever, like since like we were young kids. Like our
I
parents.
thought you were talking about me. I'm like, what?
No, like our parents like know each other, whatever, and you know, like I had like before you and I got together, like I had hung out with him, whatever,
Yeah.
and then. You know, when you and I got together, and it's like I don't know, like what it is. It brings like people out of the woodworks because then like it was like he was trying to like get with me, and then it's like I told him like no, I have a boyfriend, and it's like apparently that didn't mean jack crap coming from me. So
Hey, I had a situation too.
So, but it literally took like my best friend being like, "Hey, you need to back off. Like she has a boyfriend."
Her best friend getting her fist out like, I will hurt you.
No, because it was like New Year's, and so I was hanging
I
out.
can see Pink Tink doing.
And, you know, I was hanging out with her and her boyfriend, at the time boyfriend, now husband.
Right.
And, you know, he's
We were
like,
there.
oh, well, you guys need company, blah, 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 blah. Like, well, I knew what he was trying to, like, he basically wanted
Trying to
in
slide in them DMs. And
trying
then
to
some.
slide in, yeah.
Hey-o.
You know,
The
and
non-friendly content.
sorry to get a little woo there, but yeah, and it literally took her being like, bro,
Story
like
time for
basically
you. I'm
like
gonna fill up.
basically be like, bro, like back off, like she's in a relationship. And then like so there was that, and then like then there was this other guy, and it's like, why is it when I'm taken? It always happens when I'm
Because
taken.
you got confidence.
Guys are like wanting to get with me, but it's like when I'm single, they're like nowhere to be found, and it's like, well, screw you too with the rubber
I think
hose.
it's because the personality changes. Like, you're more outgoing. There's a presence and aura about you that people are like...
Or as Misery says, some men do be primal and not care.
That's true.
Yeah, and those men are scum, in my opinion.
That's true as well. And I also had an incident where a lady at work, she was a younger lady too, and she worked with me. She worked across from me because where I work, we lift a lot of heavy pounds. So like, we've never had a lady be able to work over there yet because it's very physically exhausting. Basically,
I could imagine the heavy crap too.
yeah, we're lifting like several hundred pounds over our heads, multiple times a day, you know. But anyways, besides that, she, you know, I'm sure she saw me working over there all the time,
It was like, oh dang.
and she approached me a lot, and you know, I try to be friendly with everybody, try to be nice, but this guy that worked with me, he had a fiance at the time. I'm sure he's probably married now, and he was basically hitting on everything he could out at work. And you know, she was about the same age as him. He was 19.
Oh,
And
damn.
he was hitting on her, and I went up to her and I said, because he already had a kid too.
Oh jeez, because that makes it better.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, he's got a fiance and he has a kid, right? I said, and she didn't, because of course he hadn't brought that up, right?
Why would he?
Right? That wouldn't make the game very easy for you, would it?
Nope.
And I said, yeah, I'd just stay away from him. I was just trying to be nice to her because I didn't want her heart to get broken, because that's just how I was. Well, then she started approaching me all the time. And then she had like a weird sense of humor. I don't know if it was her humor or what, but she was going around. Like every time I was talking to people, she would come up and she'd be like, oh, this is my boyfriend. And I go, no, you're not. And like, my group knew my situation, and they knew me because it's my friends. They're like, that's weird. Like, so, you know, we shut it down there, but then later on one day, we're hanging out, we're all talking, and she approached again, and she's like, her joke literally was, I'm pregnant with his baby or whatever. That's what she said to me and my group. And we all froze because we're like, what the? And I was like, no. And then she's like, oh. And then I think she said something about the boyfriend thing again. And I said, no. And she's like, oh, you don't want to be with me or whatever? And I said, I took her to the side and I said, look, listen, I have a girlfriend. Been together for over a year now. Because it's been about a year into our relationship. I said, you can't be doing this. And like you say, a lot of guys are primal or whatnot, but like some of the guys came up to me and were like, I can't believe you actually told her off or whatnot and this and that. They're like, that takes a lot of guts. I appreciate, or like, I admire that or whatnot. And then there was some scummy guys that were like, I can't believe you did that. Like I would have been on that or something like that. And I'm like, that just shows who you are. Like, that disgusts me.
Right.
Because, like, I grew up in a family where, you know, I grew up in a broken home because of an affair. You know, that's something I've lived with. I know the burden of it. Like, my parents divorced because somebody was unfaithful. And actually, to be honest with you, both of my dad's relationships, because I had, both my parents were divorced twice before I was out of high school. But both my parents, or both times for my dad, you know, his wife's cheated on him. So, like, I already had, like, growing up trust issues. And, you know, growing up with all guys, I had a hard time talking to women as it was anyways.
But, yeah, so, and eventually, like, he told me about, like,
I told that immediately the same day. I told you everything that was going on the second it happened.
And then you also told me that, like, she had also, like, asked you out, and then you're like, no, like, I have a girlfriend, and all of that, and so...
I said that the same days they happened. I didn't...
And, you know, and I told him, I was like, thank you for telling me, and I think that really caught him off guard. Like, I wasn't mad. Like, there's literally no situation, like in that situation, there was, like, literally no, like, reason to get mad. And I think me saying thank you, like, kind of caught him off guard, because he was kind of like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, thank you for telling me, because I'd rather hear, like, all of this happening from you instead of, like, you know, oh, like, you tell one of our mutual friends, and then them, and then in just, like, a casual conversation, them being like, oh, did you hear blah, 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 blah. And I would have been like, no, and then, like, that, in that instance, that would have pissed me off way more. And that's what I want, you know, if, like, something happens, you know, like, please tell me. Like, I'd rather hear it from you than someone else.
I just remember when the first incident happened, I was, like, at work, because it happened pretty early in work, and, like, I wasn't going to talk about it with her until after work, because I didn't want to bring it up and then have her think about it all day while I am working and be like, well, hold on, like, I'll get back to you on this, but I gotta go back to work. So I didn't bring it up until end of work.
Right, and I mean, that's fine. I mean, but you know, it's still the fact that you told me. Sorry.
But like I was saying, I lost my spot. But yeah, I brought it up after work because the whole day I'm sitting there like, great, I'm in the doghouse, this and that. Like, my friends are all like, you did the right thing, I don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, some women freak out when they just find out about it. Like, I didn't know how she was going to react. And, like, a lot of them had wives and stuff, too, so they kind of understood why I was like, oh, great, now I'm going to, like, I have to deal with, like, when somebody comes on to you, you're like, great, that's a burden to you now, because even if you do the right thing, because you don't want the other person to, especially when it's a long distance, to imply that, like, you're out there putting yourself on or something.
Well, oh, Chief.
What's up? And congrats to you both. Thank you.
Thank you, and...
Which one's next?
And here's a shot of the ring. Ooh.
Which one should we do
I love
next?
the orange in it.
Nope.
I say we get rid of that one, or try to, anyways. But, and I'm just the type of person, whether I'm in, like, a relationship, like, dating someone, or if it's, like, a friendship, like, whatever, like, if there is a situation,
This is a smaller bottle, so it's hard.
you know, come talk to me about it because, yeah, I might get mad. Let's say get this mad. If you know, just to give you an example. Yeah. You know, yeah, I might be like this mad, but if you hide it from me and then like a month later or, you know, however long later, then I find out about it, it's going to go from like this to this. Not necessarily at the situation, but it's like, sorry, I forget that.
Your stream too.
I forgot. It's also the fact of, well, why did you wait to tell me? You know, like, I would have been way less pissed off and way less mad if you had just told me in the first place.
Agreed.
That's just, like, how I am as a person.
And that's why I knew I had to, like, you're better off to say something right away instead of hide it. Like,
and I think that's why, like, it's kind of caught you off guard because, you know, I was like, thank you for telling me. And you're, like, kind of like, well, what?
Well, to be honest with you, after I told you, there was a moment of silence because you were processing it all, and I'm like, oh God.
Well, I don't think you could blame me. I mean, that was
No,
kind of
not
a
at
lot
all.
to take in in like one conversation
Absolutely.
at the moment, you know. And you know, it's better to process and analyze before just flying right off the handle, which I think I handled it pretty well.
Yeah. Which, again, like when people were telling me stuff like, well, I can't believe you did that or this and that and stuff. I'm like, you know, like, I was like, I think this is another test. Like, you know, like, obviously, like, if you're a loyal person, this is a test to see if you're going to do the right thing.
And I think you passed.
Absolutely. And
Well,
obviously you did too with your trials and tribulations.
Oh, right. Oh, and I didn't even tell you guys about the other guy. And so
You need a cough drop?
another guy. No, I'm fine, thank you.
I didn't know if your throat was a little sore.
No, it was sore earlier today, but it sounds fine now. But so it was another friend that, like, you know, my brother knew who he was, whatever. And then, like, he would message me, like, every so often on Facebook. It was never, like, anything, like, no lewd conversations or nothing. It was, but then he basically told me that, like, oh, well, keep me in mind if things don't work out in this relationship. And I'm like, what the hell?
That's horrible to think. Just to automatically assume things ain't gonna happen.
Right? It's like, what on God's... I mean, people are freaking bold
Right.
to assume.
Like, even if...
And, like, that kind of, like, that... To me, that was kind of, like, an ick factor. And it's just like, bro...
The icks, are we?
No, that was... It was like, bro, like, I mean, I guess I appreciate your honesty, but I don't see anything, like...
Yeah, that's not, like, that's one of those things where, like, for me, like, certain confidence things are, like, no, thank you. Like, take that somewhere else. Because, like, even if something didn't work out, I'd be like, you're the last person I want now.
Right, like, that just put you on the bottom. But, and an interesting thing, another quick story.
Trying to find all these.
Oh, excuse me. So again, I had dated a guy that was long distance, and funny enough, he was from Iowa.
Let's see what time it is, really. 'Cause we don't have any clocks in here.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
And it was all right. Like, the relationship between me and this guy was okay.
I think we're 1 second off. I was trying to see how close our times were. I'm one ahead.
And so he came out to California to visit. Parents really didn't like him. And, you know, being in the relationship, of course, you know, when people are like, oh, I don't like him. No, obviously you're not going to listen. And obviously, like, you don't see what they're talking about. And, yeah. So, cut a long story short, I think me and this guy were together, like, a year. Maybe a year and a half or something. And mind you, this was all, like, long distance. And I'm playing World of Warcraft, and one of his friends that became my friends was like, hey, have you talked to... Oh, sweetie. When you find hidden snacks, heck yeah. I totally forgot I had
I
this.
forgot about that too. Where do we get without?
Walmart.
That was Casey's.
Casey's. No, it's Casey's.
Yeah.
We might want to leave a bag so I can put like shoes or something.
I was actually getting these double bags to put the Xbox in.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But anyways,
There's like 3 over there. So.
Anyways, and so this guy, so he messages me in game and was like, "Oh, have you talked to Amanda?" And I was like, "No, like what's going on?" So I log out of the game, and I am talking to this girl on Facebook Messenger, and come to find out that apparently the guy that I was dating was also dating her at the same time because homeboy told her, like, yeah, I'm single. And, no, at that point, her and I, we were actually talking on the phone because I was like, yeah, give her my phone number. And you would think, like, well, weren't you mad at her? And it's like, no, I was not mad at her at all because...
That's the smart.
Because the dude freaking lied to her and, like, she didn't know. And she sent me their entire, like, chat log on Facebook. And, you know, he was calling her, like, all the same, like, little, like, pet names that, like, he was calling me and everything. And she was like, oh, my God, like, I didn't know. Like, she was, like, shocked when I had told her that, like, yeah, no, him and I are together. So
what are you doing with all these? Do you want to put them in the makeup?
Yeah.
Are you keeping this or throwing this away?
Oh, we could throw it away.
Okay.
And so you would think, like, well, why aren't you mad at her? You know, like I just said, because she didn't know. Like, he told her that he was single.
Yeah. It's a case-by-case situation. I think, like, if it's a friend of yours and they know you're dating someone...
Oh, yeah, that's different.
That's different. Still more mad at him than her, I would say. Like, even in that situation. But, like, obviously, that person would not be a friend anymore. But I feel like in your situation where you had it, I'd be more friends with that lady because you're like...
Oh, yeah, that kind of... Oh, congrats, Fidget and Brad. Thank you, Prod.
Oh, you know what congrats means.
Here's a shot of the ring. I like it.
It's so shiny that it breaks the light. Only $1.2 million.
Yeah, right, okay.
The fanciest of rings. It's a blood diamond. That's why it's orange.
And so we basically, like, her and I, like...
Is yours? I don't even know you had this.
Hair tie.
You're not going to need it, right?
No.
I'm packing things up, guys. That's why I've been back.
And Prod saying he got 1.2 mil. He can give me the 0.2.
All right. Yeah, round it up.
But, so, yeah. And so that... Like, that hurt. Like, the fact that, like, he would lie. Like, if he was unhappy, like, in the relationship, it's called, you know, grow a pair and be like, hey, like, I really don't think this is working out.
Absolutely.
You know, and, like, I get it. California to Iowa is roughly, give or take, like...
Yeah, this guy, ironically, was from Iowa, too.
Cedar Rapids, mind you.
Nah, Cedar Rapids, worst area in the world.
I want to say it's roughly,
It'd be funny if we ran into him someday. Because, like, it's not that far-fetched that we run into him at an event or something.
Well, that's if he's still living here. I don't know if he's living in...
He like, his family wasn't around here or nothing?
No, like, he's got a girlfriend, and, like, they have 2 kids together now. So, like, I don't know if, like, he's living, like, with her or wherever.
Wonder if he's just as scummy with her. Because those people usually don't change.
But, yeah, so me and this girl attempted to call him to be like, you know, like, tell him off.
Bitch.
And so, needless to say, that ended, like, I ended it with him, like, real quick and whatever. And then this fool, I kid you not, literally had the freaking audacity to call me and freaking ask me to take him back. Like, I was cooking dinner for...
Probably calling her, too.
Right? Like, I'm sure he called her first.
Oh, snap.
I wouldn't be surprised if his scummy-ass behavior. But, yeah. Like, he was like, yeah, can you... Like, I want you back, this, that, whatever. You know, typical guy BS, like groveling, like, oh, I'll change, no, and they never change. It's all a freaking lie just to get you back. But anyway, so I straight up, like, I told him no.
Okay, we need to put this in your wallet or my wallet?
Your wallet's right there. But then I was like, yeah, I'm never dating anyone from Iowa again, because, you know, that, and I don't think, like, at that point in my life, like, I don't think you could blame me, because that really puts a sour taste in your mouth, like, so to speak.
Who does she meet? A guy from Iowa.
Who the heck am I engaged to now? A guy from Iowa.
What are the odds that you meet another Iowan now? Like,
right, and then... But then, you know... But of course, with ROEBRAD, it's all different because he's not a scummy guy.
But what I felt like, was that like a little bit in your head when we first like met and you found out where I was from? You're like, oh God.
Well, and to
like,
be
never
fair,
asking this guy.
well, I was more kind of like, oh shit, here we go again, round 2.
What if it's the same guy?
Right? I mean, until I saw you on like stream or whatever. I mean, that's how I knew it wasn't. But it's like,
I imagine we didn't sound the same either.
No, not at all. But
you guys are wondering why I'm packing up stuff right now. It's because Fidget's not a morning person, so I know.
Not at all. And
I know in the morning that I'm going to be mainly trying to hustle this all up together.
And
you're wearing your regular tennis shoes tomorrow, right?
No, I'm wearing my Crocs. Wear the company shoes on the way home.
See, I can't wear slippers in the middle of the winter.
That's why I wear socks. But
Crocs have holes in them, guys.
Well, that's why I need to put charms in.
She gets us all. She gets the rest of us sick. She doesn't.
But
zip up.
But yeah, like that put a really bad like taste in my mouth, and just the fact that like he would lie to me, and then it was just like, wow, bro. And then like the literal audacity of this dude, like literally trying to like get back with me, and it's like, why? So you can cheat on me again? Like, right. No, screw you and the horse you rode in on. Like, no, that's not happening.
Are you done with these for the vacation?
Yeah, you can put them in the makeup bag.
Okay.
Or the toiletry bag. But, so I was very proud of myself because, like, I was thinking about it and, like, I kind of faltered, like, a little bit. But I was like, no, like, I stuck to my guns and I was like, no. And not to mention, if I had gotten back with him, like, probably, I would have, not probably, I know I would have pissed off a lot of my friends. So it's like, no. My friends are more important than some scummy-ass dude anyways.
I think you pissed off everybody.
And, But going back to, like, that whole, like, situation, you know, that you had at your work with that coworker, and then, like, I kind of hate to admit this, but we're putting it out on the internet, and then I remember when you told me you were, like, the next day, like, you were going, like, to your dad's, and, like, you were meeting up with your dad and your brother to go fishing. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, great. Like, he's probably lying. Like, honestly, like, I feel bad for admitting this, but I was like, oh, he's lying to me. Like, he's straight up lying to me. He's saying he's meeting his dad and his brother. And when...
I got 2 witnesses.
When...
2. They both were there. They know I went fishing.
Hold on. I'll get that. I'll get there. And... I was like, great, you know, like I found another scummy ass dude.
Was that kind of lies he would tell you or something? Like when he was busy, he'd be like going with friends to do something?
Or no, it would just be like, oh, I'm busy, you know. It's like when you're with someone.
Wow. He wasn't even like,
no.
He was too lazy to even come up with an excuse.
But here's the thing though, you know, when you're with someone, like you're dating someone and you kind of develop a routine, and then things like something like
so he already had scumming in his routine.
He's
like, oh, at 4 to 5 I'm a scumbag, so I'm not gonna be, I'm busy then.
But then, you know, after what ROEBRAD had told me about like all of this, and I'm like, of course the way my brain works is like, oh great, he's lying to me, he's gonna meet her, you know, he's gonna, you know, like I'm gonna be the side chick again, you know, this, that, and like I was like, great, you know, screw me, right? Like, why do I, you know, screw me for wanting to try and be happy, you know? And then
what's someone in Iowa,
right? But then So what kind of like slowly like eased my mind is again like we were on Discord and then like the whole time he was getting ready.
Rainbow charger go.
Oh, I put it in the little backpack.
Okay.
Um,
The little backpack. Discreet backpack.
and then so, you know, like the whole time he's getting ready, like we're still on Discord, we're still talking, and then he's like, "Oh, do you want to, you know, still be on the call while I go to my dad's?" And you know, me like hearing that, like you would think like, okay, whatever, like you know that would like put your mind at ease, but you know, my anxiety brain like no, like I need proof for my like anxiety brain to like be like okay, like
I don't even think she like showed me that she was nervous or worried about it either. Is the thing. She wasn't like she wasn't bringing the negative or the vibes my way about her. So like I just
insecurities.
I just brought it up randomly. I think.
Well,
because she hadn't met my dad yet.
Well, and then so he gets to his dad's. He's like, "Oh, do you want me to turn on the camera real quick?" And then as soon as he did that, there's a like the camera was like on his dad and his brother. And let me tell you, as soon as that happened, I felt like the biggest ass ever. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I felt like the biggest ass for like thinking the worst. But then again, like you at that, like you couldn't blame me because of like what had happened.
And to be fair, on my end, the reason why me and my dad and my brother would go fishing annually at that point was because my buddy that passed away, back to him, he never had really gone fishing before until he met me and my dad and my brother. And we took him out fishing one time, and he had a blast so much that my dad bought him an open cast reel that he kept in our garage. That anytime he wanted to go fishing, he could come to our house and go fishing with us. Well, still to this day, we hang it up in the garage, and we each have to catch a fish on it once a year on that fishing pool. So that was our annual, like, we're taking the pole out, we're going fishing. And so, like, the last thing on my mind was, like, cheating. I was thinking of my best friend that passed away. I was like, I got to catch a fish. Like, what if I don't catch a fish today? Then I'm going to have to go out again tomorrow.
But, and then seeing that, like I said, like, I felt like an ass. Like, I did. Like, and I didn't want to, like, you're like, oh, well, why didn't you say anything to him? And it's like, because I didn't want to be coming across as, like, accusatory of, like, you know, like, that's, like, the last thing you want. And, of course, like, if you confront, and I'm not saying this is true for all guys, so just want to throw that out there now. Like, not all guys are scums of the world. But
There's 90%.
But, you know, it's like, had I confronted him, how do I know he's just not saying things that, like, he knows I want to hear just to calm me down, you know,
That's
get him
true.
off his back. But, you know, like, literally, though, once he turned on the camera and, like, I saw his dad and his brother, and it was quite literally just his dad and his brother, like, I felt fine. And then, like, I felt like, okay, like, I can trust him. Like, so literally from that point on.
Yeah, like, no questions. No questions.
No, like.
But I think it's funny because when I did show my camera, because my dad, I grew up no internet, no cable, you know, my dad is a wilderness guy. So, like, when I turned on the camera, like, my dad wasn't exactly, like, the most exciting person to me because he's just like, okay, like, so he didn't really want to be on camera anyways. So he just kind of, like, real quick, cool. And then my brother probably, like, waved or something, and that's about it.
But it was, like, literally, like, 2 seconds, not maybe a little more, but, like, that's quite literally, like, all I needed to see.
Yeah, and see, that was another thing about being long distances, because whenever I was at my dad's or we do things with my dad's, a lot of times, and still to this day, like, if I tell Fidget before I go to my dad's, I'm like, which I only see my dad, like, twice a year, if.
Twice a year on a good year.
Yeah. And, but, like, when I'm there, my phone's pretty much off.
But see, it's like,
Because,
if I know you're going to your dad's.
But she understands that because, like, it's the middle of nowhere. Ain't gonna get the best reception anyways. And, like, you know, I grew up in a family where it was like phones were like not
A priority.
priority at all. So like when we go fishing, the last thing we want to do is have our phones out.
And like
unless we're taking a picture.
And like if he's at his dad's, like oh, I'm going to be at my dad's. I'm leaving at this time to like this whatever. You know, it's like I'll text him like, oh, you know.
Funny thing about that fishing trip though, the one that I went on that I showed you the camera of, is that was actually the first year after he'd passed away, and so that was the first annual fishing trip or whatever, and we went to this pond. And we were walking around the pond or whatnot, and I think at one point, all three of us, at some point in the time, fell in the pond.
You think he was laughing at you?
Oh, yeah, I think he was the one pushing us in. Because, you know, like, you get your string snagged or something, and you'd have to, like, climb on a branch or something and, like, get a good spot. That's how I fell in. My dad, I think he fell in, I think we all three basically the same thing. It was, like, got snagged on something. Because there was a lot of sticks that like hook out in the.
That's what turning locations on is for.
True, but that doesn't tell you how many people are in that location. Unless she has her location too, and be like, okay, she's clear of the freak over there. But that still wouldn't really tell you anything. Because what if she just leaves her phones?
Right, and but like I get where Misery's coming from.
Yeah, I do.
Like, but I feel like in a way, like I feel like that could potentially lead to like one or both like trying to be controlling.
Yeah. I never like that too much. Where it's like honesty's always been key to me. Like, but like I don't want to be in a relationship where it's like there's so many like rules and stipulations that it's hard to have fun without like a whole checklist of things.
Honestly, like my rules, like if you will, it's like if he's going out, it's like please
take me with you.
Well, provide.
Take me with
of
you.
course,
I don't
like,
get out of the house much.
No, like if he's going out, like hypothetically, let's say he's going out with his friends,
the boys,
and
I don't really have many girlfriends like that kind of friends, but friends are girls.
But. And I don't even think, like, this is asking a whole lot. I feel like this is reasonable. You know, please text me, like, when you get to wherever you're going. Like, hey, I made it. And then, hey, I'm on my way home.
And see, I don't...
And that's just me. And, like, I really feel like that's not asking a whole lot.
And she does that with every time she goes out. First off, I don't go out.
Well, like, if I'm meeting, like, you know, my work bestie.
Yeah, like,
you know,
I'll be in the middle...
I just like letting you know, like, hey, I'm here. Like,
right.
Just so you're not like, oh, where are you? You know, like, I don't necessarily know how your brain works. Like, I don't want you thinking, like, the worst case scenario.
Right.
That's why I'm like, hey, I'm here.
A lot of times, if she's not working and I'm, like, done hanging out with my friends, I'll just call her. Be like, hey, I'm on the way home. So that, because, like, where we live in the middle of nowhere, so it's, like, a 45-minute drive pretty much anywhere. Like, so I'm like, I need somebody to talk to on the way home because I'm not a radio guy. I don't like listening to music that much.
Like, if he goes out and is having fun, good for him. But if he forgets to say, made it home, it's nice to get. Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
Nothing to do with controlling anyone. If you feel secure in the relationship, you wouldn't care about it being there, and you're not gonna make them feel like as about where they were if you already told.
I mean, that's true.
Very true, but I don't know. Again, you know,
I don't even know how to do location stuff, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm not very tech savvy.
But like I was saying, though, not all guys are that way, but, you know, there's the some who, you know, that are that way where it's like, no, you have to have your location. I have to know where you are at all times. You know, if you say anything different, like you're automatically you're cheating on me, you know.
I know guys that have to do that at work and stuff. And then, like, there's this guy I work with that, like, so this part I don't agree with. but I get it, I guess. He's not the best at budgeting, I guess, and so his wife is like his co-budgeter, but she doesn't work, so she doesn't have an income, so he's making all the money. And I feel like that's always an awkward situation. But like, he's like, he'll be at work and he'll be like, oh, I gotta call or text my wife to see if I can buy a soda pop because I'm thirsty or whatnot. And like, to me, that's a little too far for me. Like, I'm like, I tell the other guys, I'm like, if I ever get like that, just take me out back, I guess.
Me too already.
Yeah. It's true. Like I said, we're very old spirits in ways. Like when we first started dating, I remember we announced to a lot of our friends on stream that we started dating, and like, if not 50%, there was more than that. People were like, "I thought you guys were already married for like several years because you guys just seemed like a couple that was already a married couple."
Well, and yeah, I remember that. Or like you'd go into like people's streams and then like I would follow you there and then you would always say like, oh yeah, like Fidget's my number one lady. And so like, and I feel like you did that before we started dating. So I feel like that's why
Yeah.
some of the people who you said that to like already maybe got the impression that we were dating.
Probably. Well, and that anytime they came into my streams, you were always in the VC with me. Our back and forth was always like
Playful banter.
Yeah, we've always been that way. And that was what I was going to get to is like, it's different in a relationship when it's like you're hanging out with your best friend every day. Because that's a lot different than like putting on a pressure or anything. Because like we've never put any pressure on our relationship. It's just been like two people hanging out. Yeah, we'll play games together sometimes. Sometimes we go out to actual events. But we've never like, we never put each other in uncomfortable situations. We're just like, always just been there to hang out.
Right, and honestly, now that like we're engaged, like I literally feel like nothing has changed. And I feel like that's kind of like a good thing because I feel some, again, not saying this is all, but I feel like some people that, like once they get into the relationship, it's like one thing, and then, they're together for how long, and then it's like, oh, they get engaged. And then I feel like some people, like, they put, like, pressure on themselves. Why? I don't know. And then, like,
I know
things change, and it's like, honestly, like, okay, like, I feel like we just are now beginning to write the next chapter in our story, like, that's really all I feel like.
I remember, like, because I don't really count, like, grade school or middle school, like, dating or anything.
Dating.
Because, like, you can't do it. You can't, like, go out and do stuff together or whatnot. But I remember, like, my real first girlfriend, like, in high school, like, I just remember, like, after, first off, we stayed together for, like, almost 2 years. It was, like, a year and a half. But towards the end, because, like, everybody was always, like, trying to idolize our relationship or whatever, like, basically saying we were their relationship goals. But then you also had the people that were, like, trying to get with her, but then trying to get with me. So that we spent, like, after, like, maybe the first 4 months of being together, the rest of the year and a half, we spent fighting off other people. It wasn't, like, a day that she wasn't getting hit on. And then when she was finally, not getting hit on, I was getting hit on. And we probably spent, like, maybe half a year, if not a little more, like, arguing all the time about, like, jealousy stuff. And I just remember after that relationship, I was like, we had a good relationship. It wasn't even us that ruined our relationship. It was all the people around us. So I remember, like, from that relationship, I learned that I was like, I am not going to let somebody else ruin something that I have for the next time. Because So that's why, like, nowadays I'm more, like, chill about situations. Like, because, like, I think what tore us more apart was the fact that, like, we didn't trust each other.
And I mean, and being in a situation like that, like, I could see where that could be hard.
Yeah, so, like, I felt like I learned something from each relationship. But I took a long time, I think a couple of years before I even, like, started talking to other women, before I was like, because I was like, I need to find myself.
Right, and that's honestly, that's like the best thing you could do.
Yeah. Because, like, I was at a point in my life where I was like, I need to know exactly what I am and who I am before I have somebody come and, like, collectively, like, try to be with me. Because I'm like, I want to be able to say, well, this is me, like it or love it, or
Like it or leave it.
yeah, like, love it or leave it, or something like that. And so that's just how I was.
So here's a question for you. So, what was it about me that, like...
Well, at the beginning, we were just friends.
Right, but...
So, like, we were friends for almost a year. And, like, I've told you this before, but...
Well, we're telling it to the audience.
Yeah, I'm sure I've said it before on stream, too, but...
For our new people.
For the new ones.
For our new
But anyways, I remember... Because I was going through a lot of people passing away. And I'm not trying to get real spiritual with people and not trying to bring religion or anything into this. But when my grandparents were passing away, the grandparents I grew up with passed away when I was younger. And I really looked up to them. Some would say, you know, they raised me like a mom and dad themselves. And I was kind of talking to them in my head, you know, talking to them. I guess you could call it a pray, if you will, situation, but just talking to them and letting them know to take care of my other grandparents when they get up there. And my grandpa was the one I was talking to. I said, look after my grandma on my mom's side when she gets up there, because she's going to need guidance or whatnot. And he said, I will. And then I heard my grandma in the background from my dad's side, and she passed away when I was 11. So I hadn't heard her voice in a long time. And she was saying hi to me and whatnot. And then she said something to me in my head. This is where everybody leaves me because they're going to think I'm nuts because I'm talking to myself. But she said, and what about that girl you've been talking to and referring to you? And I said, Fidget, that's my friend or whatnot. And at this point, you know, you'd already asked me out. And I said, you know, do your own thing, whatever you want to do, whatever. She's like, because, like, me and you were talking like friends, but we also had a little bit of flirt ski game going. So, like, not going to lie, I wasn't, like, trying to lead her on at the same time. But, like, you know, we had a little game between each other going. But my grandma was like, in my head was like, you need to decide what you want to do there, because if you're not going to take it to the next level or whatnot, you know, all you're going to do is hurt this girl's heart or whatnot. And, like, I was sunken there, like, really thinking about it. And it took me about a good couple months of thinking, like, what do I need to do? Because, like, in my head, I knew that, like, if me and Fidget didn't start dating, I don't know how far our friendship would go if I eventually did start dating someone else. Because, like, the way our friendship was is we were kind of inseparable. We were always hanging out. When we weren't at work, we were always hanging out. And, like, if I started dating someone else, you know, me and her wouldn't obviously be able to do that. And, like, I would have to explain my friendship with her to anybody else. I'm like, that doesn't makes sense. Like, that would be literally like everybody would call me nuts. And then I'm like, plus if I started dating somebody else, like, and our friendship would pretty much be terminated, I think, because like.
I mean, let's be real. Like, I don't really feel like any girl would like you would try to date or whatever would like.
Yeah,
understand it and be like, no, well, you're just trying to cheat on me with her, and it's like, no, that's literally not the case.
And I did a long, like, contemplation and whatnot, and I realized in my head, I was like, well, crap, if I don't have Fidget around, like, life is going to be pretty boring. I don't want her to go away. And then that was when I was like, oh, well, I guess I have to make the next step. And so that's when I decided that I was going to do it, but then I waited a couple months because I was like, I got to do something special, so I waited to do it on her birthday.
Not me sitting over here crying, getting a little emotional.
But I was just like, crap, I can't lose this lady. But...
And I don't know, I feel like one of the big things, or a big thing that, like, kind of drew me to you was, like your personality, like, the way, like, you make me laugh. Like, you just do, like, sometimes, like, you'll do, like, silly little things. Or, like, you'll say off the, like, sometimes you'll just say off the cuff, like, things, and it just, like... You know, it makes me laugh.
Were you saying I was one of those streamers that had a nice set of personalities?
Oh, yes.
Like a hot tub streamer?
Oh, yeah, I still got those. But, and I don't know, it was just, like, the fact of...
Oh.
Like, before, like, we started dating,
watching
like...
Flintstones.
I honestly considered you to be, like, one of my best guy friends. Like, really. Before, like, we went to that next step.
Like I said, we were pretty inseparable.
Well, and to be fair, there would be times where I'm like, dude, like, if you want to go and do this, like, go do it. Like, I'll be okay. Like, we can hang out or whatever, like, when you get back. And he'd be like, oh, no. And then it's like...
Hey, I like the friendship because it gave me an excuse not to do things.
Well, but
like, as she knows now from living here, she knows I don't like going. She understands why I was saying, no, it's fine.
Well, but it's like, but I didn't want, like, his friends to think that, like, I was being controlling and telling him, like, oh, if you go out with your friends, then, like, we're through, or, or anything like that. So, I was always, like, trying to encourage him, and then, oh, no, like, blah, blah, blah.
Hey. Hey. I think that, is that...
How do I...
Here, let me check.
Please hold.
Hold on, we got something going on over here.
Stream manager.
Oh. Is it just, stars? Is that...
I don't know, should we...
Sorry, we don't know what's going on here, but... Yeah, just the name itself. But definitely not a way to join someone's chat.
Alright, can you take us back over there?
Absolutely, all you gotta do is do this.
Well,
but basically, if you're in the chat, you know, but on her chat, we had somebody, like, put best views on asterisk, which was just asterisk.
it's a spam account that just tries to get you to fall for it. Yeah, that's why we just banned them. Get rid of them.
I thought it was, but we haven't gotten one of those in forever. Remember when Twitch first, like, when we first were in Twitch, like, it was like those hotspots. Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Then you got that servo bot thing that would, like, automatically, like, get rid of them without you having to even. That was nice.
But,
I think I still have that bot modded.
But yeah, I mean, I literally, like, I don't think I'm controlling at all. Like, would like to think I'm like pretty laid back in most situations, and it's like, if you want to go hang out with your friends, just go. Like, I'm literally not gonna get mad. And like, I don't know how many times I've told this dude, but it's like, if I'm telling you to go ahead and do, like, go out with your friends, play the video game, whatever, if I'm saying it's okay, I'm literally not gonna get mad.
Right.
And then if like I do get mad, then that's on me. It's again like, they're your friends, they were there before me, and it's like, I don't want your friends to think any type of way, any negative way about me.
I do have certain friends that, like, once they started dating someone, like, our friendship just kind of dissipated as much because, like, life happens, but also, like, some significant others just don't want you hanging out with people.
And I feel like that comes from insecurities or baggage or past relationships.
But if they can make it work, I mean, and all in all, it's like, if that's what makes you happy, go ahead. It's just, I guess our friendship is like, whenever you come back, I'll be around. But like, for the most part, me and my friends, like my close knit circle, it's like, we're just glad to hang out when we can, even if it's like 2 or 3 times a year.
Is this the 2 I'm thinking of?
Oh yeah, I mean, Kaiser the rat ass and Floppy Rasto.
I like them. They're good guys. Floppy's a little
he's in the chat.
he's a special kind of special.
Hey, Floppy's cool.
No, he is. But
both of them are special kind of special. What are you talking about? They're specialists of specials.
But yeah, but that's just me. Like, I'm, I'd like to think I'm a low maintenance kind of girlfriend, which I'm okay with, and I know he's definitely okay with it.
I'm definitely like.
You like the low maintenance?
Yeah, if you're high maintenance, you want to be here.
Oh, I know.
I don't think our friendship would have lasted very long.
Right.
I mean, we'd probably still be friends, but it wouldn't be the friendship that it was.
Right.
Because, like, I could be friends with about anyone. I hung out with about everybody, like, in school, but it doesn't mean, like, I'm going to say hi, or, like, not say hi, but, like, it doesn't mean I'm not going to, like, hang out with you on the regs. Short for regular.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's one of my favorite things to do. Whenever I abbreviate a word or something, make it shorter, I go to her, short for whatever.
And it's like, yeah, I get it. It's not lost on me. But, yeah, I mean.
It's my inside joke.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty deep dive into.
I think we talked about our 3 years.
I mean,
a 3-year journey.
Oh, well.
You moved here.
Well, and then, we were together, what, was it 2 years, I want to say? When, I think it was 2 years when we were like, well, in order to progress,
No, we were here a year and a half.
Okay, I keep thinking it's 2 years, but
because it was, I mentioned it within our first year that I said, well, the relationship can only go so far unless we move in together, because like long distance or not, like,
you can't really progress after
a certain point.
And don't get me wrong, like, it was a tough decision.
And, like, I already had a house I was paying for. I live in the cheaper state.
Right, and,
And I had a good job with a nice 401k.
I mean, you still have that job.
Still do.
With the nice 401k.
8+ years.
Well, and then, so, of course, like, me and my mom were like this. Like, that's, like, we're...
But me and her are closer now because I had a secret with her.
And so, of course, she was, like, the first person that I had talked to about this. And, at that point, it's like, yeah, like, I really like him. And, I don't, like, if he didn't really like me, obviously, like, he wouldn't have said anything, And, it took, I think it kind of, like, blindsided my mom in a sense of like, because it kind of came out of nowhere. But, you know, after I think the initial shock had worn off, like, and, you know, my mom told me that, you know, she sat with it for a while and, you know, thought about it. And, you know, she's like, oh, well, like, what are you going to do about this? Like, what are you going to do about that? Like, what are you going to do about a job? And it's like, well, really can't do anything about a job until I get out there.
Yeah, that is true.
And, you know, and then once my mom was on board and kind of had my mom's blessing, you know, again, had the very, very scary task of talking to my father about this. And, you know, luckily I was like, Mom, like, you're going to be there when I talk to Dad, right?
I feel like I talked to your dad more than you did about it.
You did?
Yeah, because
me moving out there?
Because when I went there for Sunny D and Pink Tink's wedding on that March, your dad was still a little confused about what was going on. And your mom's like, are you going to have a talk with him or whatnot? And I was like, I can. Like, I thought you'd already talked to him at that point, really. And we were sitting there at the wedding while she's, you know, you were getting ready for the thing. You know how, like, they had us sit down for, like, almost, like, 30 minutes before you guys even...
like, the wedding party came out.
And so, like, I'm having this awkward conversation with your dad at the wedding, and he's, like, kind of like, so what's the... Not necessarily like what's the intentions with my daughter or whatnot, and I was like just straightforward with him. I was like, well, she plans on moving out with me here in a couple months. Oh really? And like, I think because he knows that I work hard and I try to do what's best and whatnot, like apparently that's a hard quality to find nowadays. Like he's always been real cool with me so far, and like a week or two before I decided that I was gonna call her parents to ask for their blessing, I had called them and I was like, I've only talked to him like twice.
Well, to get back real quick, so but here's the thing, like,
I said I finished.
And like here's the thing. So once I started, you know, talking to my dad about it. Like, I feel like the man, don't get me wrong, I love my dad to death. I feel like that man asked me the same question 50 times in 50 different ways. And it's like, I feel like whatever questions he had for me, I want to say he probably had, like, the same questions for Brad.
I think he probably wanted to test to see if I was, like, man enough to face up to him and, like, tell him my intentions and tell him... Which I did.
But,
because I'm old Western type, so, like, I'm straightforward with people.
And so, literally, me moving out here, so that was a thing. And, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, yes, it was hard, because, you know, I was born and raised in California, lived there, what, like 30, how old was I? 37? 38?
Yeah.
Like 38?
I think you were 37, almost 38.
You know, so 37
and a half.
Yeah, years of my life were in one location. And, you know, granted...
Same phone number.
Yeah, same phone number, too. Same cell phone number. But, you know...
I just had to bring that up because you had to change it when you got there.
Really, again, this may sound kind of take this however you will, what I'm about to say. You know, there wasn't really anything holding me back. You know, I had a crappy job. I mean, really, only thing I had going for me was a little bit of family I had left in California because my brother and sister-in-law and my niece still live in California. So do my parents. My sister's in Colorado, so... I mean, and then I have my very small, close-knit group of friends. But other than that, there was, like, nothing.
This is the smallest Big Mac.
Nothing, like, keeping me there. So it made sense for me to move out. And then so the day finally came. It was in June. And so literally me moving was...
24th.
It was June 24th, 3 days before his birthday, and I packed four suitcases of clothes. And since it was summertime, I packed a lot of like summer clothes and whatnot. And my mom, I felt kind of bad for my mom. She literally, all she had was a little like a carry-on, and I was like, is like that gonna be enough for you? And like she made it work, so I was like, okay. So yeah, we flew. It was me and my mom flew out to Iowa.
And eventually she mailed like 12 totes.
It was like, I want to say it was like 6 months, roughly around 6 months after I moved out there. She sent the rest of my totes of clothes and stuff. Still haven't opened them, still haven't gone through them or anything. But,
that goes in the
oh, Big Mac.
Big Mac.
For me.
Told her to get some more food so that way she'd have some tonight.
Well, you could drive and get me some more.
No, I've been drinking. You can't drink and drive.
Well, you can walk. But, so yeah. And I've been living out in Iowa for a little over, a year and a half? That'll be 2 years to June 24th. But,
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, some days it's hard, you miss home and stuff, but one thing that does help, my mom and I talk pretty much every day. Like when I'm driving home from work, like I call her, tell her about my day, tell her, about, if there's anything going on, like, and she fills me in too, and
I think that's funny because we both were the opposite. Like when I moved away from my family for a year and a half, I eventually got to the point where like I had friends that I was hanging out with on the regular. Like I didn't even contact my family once I moved out there. I was just like, well, best way to not think about them is just let them be, let them live their life, and I'm gonna live my life because like. Just like messaging him on the regular for me was like, all it's gonna remind me is that I'm not there. So I went probably out of the year and a half I was there. I probably went a whole year of not talking to my family, and then I moved back.
But and trying to keep in touch with one of my best friends back home, Pink Tank. It's just like. Almost every time her and I talk on the phone, we say that, like, we're going to try and be better about, like, talking more frequently than we do. Because, like...
I have that with friends, too.
Because it'll be, like... We'll go, like, months. And it's, like... I don't mean to. It's, like, I'll think about her, like, oh, like, I hope, she's doing well. Then it's, like, well, duh, why don't you just pick up the phone and, like, call her? Or just pick up the phone and text her. But then again, on the flip side of that coin, she could easily do the same thing.
I know. I have that same thing with a couple friends. Like, there's some friends where, like, maybe I'll go 2, maybe I'll go 3 years, or maybe I'll just go, like, 1 year where I haven't talked to them, and then I pick up the phone one day or something, and I'm like, hey, how's it been? Or what I usually say is, this still whoever, because, like, I'll go so long without talking to a friend that I'm like, oh, this might not be their phone number anymore.
Right. Oh, speaking of phone numbers.
Uh-oh.
That was fun. So, after I moved out here, like that first Christmas I was out here, with his bonus, he decided, to upgrade our phones.
We've had new phones for a year now.
Yeah, we got the 15 Pro Max iPhone.
Not a sponsor, but we'll take it.
And then
because it probably says paid promotion on it.
And then I wanted to keep my phone number because I just thought, okay, that'll be easier because everybody has my phone number.
You want that?
Sure. And then because my mom's name was on the account, like they literally said. Sorry, squeeze your leg. They literally told me that in order to get, like, the okay, she would have to be there in person. And it's like, bro, like, you do realize, like, my mom, like, 925, that is a California area code. And you do realize that is where my mother is currently residing, right?
It's dumb that they can't just, like, Well, I guess I could see why they couldn't just take her on the phone. Because anybody from another state could just be like, yeah, sure.
Right, but then, my mom was on the phone and, like, talking to a representative, and it's like,
She's
Mom...
going down the depths.
And, like, I kept trying to tell my mom that it wasn't, like, a full-on, like, Apple Store. It was, like, one of those, like, little pop-ups.
Yeah, that's all they have around us.
Which is fine. And, like, my mom, like, wasn't understanding that. And then, like, the guy that she was on the phone with, again, not trying to come across any type of way, but you could tell he was from a place where they don't value women as much, because he kept, like, cutting me off, and it was almost like a very dismissive behavior that he had towards me because I'm a woman. And it's like, yeah, that's not gonna fly.
Is there a man in the house? Those old, like, phone calls, like, if you watch old commercials of,
Can
like...
I speak to the man of the house? But no, like, you could tell, and it was, he being very rude to me, and I kept trying to tell my mom, like, Mom, like, this is not... They are literally telling me that you have to be here in person. I'm just going to, save the headache. And, I switched to a Iowa phone number. So, and, yeah, it kind of sucked. But, it was just like...
To be fair on my end...
Another part of growing up, being an adult.
To be fair on my end, I thought you and your mom had, like, a co-ownership agreement on that. Because, like... you've been an adult for, like, a long time.
Right, but no, it was, like, she was the one, like, paying for it, and, like, It was her name on the account, and it's like...
But, like, you can do co-ownerships to where, like...
Well, I didn't know that.
Right.
But...
so that's why I didn't really think too much of it, because we went and got new phones before we went to the movies that night. We were like, it should be a quick transaction or whatever, because every time I've gotten a new phone, it doesn't take very long. And I knew it was going to take a little long, because we went out there like 2 hours early. Yeah. But I knew it would take a little longer for her because she's getting a new phone. But from my experience, I knew it wasn't that bad. And she also had AT&T, luckily, so, like, it wasn't going to be that bad.
Well, and then, like, they were doing, like, this promotion where, like, oh, trade, like, we'll take your old phone, this, that, whatever. And, like, I understand the girl was doing her job, but she was being kind of pushy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want
to take my phone away either.
But she just straight up
She yanked that name from me. She's like, nope. I'm like, oh, well.
And again...
Give me the option to not take it, please.
And, well, again, this may be a little morbid, but, so, the phone that I had was Pink Tink's sister's phone, and her sister had passed away. And so, her mom was selling the phone, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it, because I think at that point it might have been a upgrade to my phone, or, just a slight upgrade or whatever. But then it was also like, it was her phone, again, weird, whatever, but it felt like, I had a little piece of her with me, even though it was a cell phone, like... You call that what you will, but it to me, in a sense, it was kind of a comforting thing. Because me and Pink Tink's sister, like, we were like this, like.
Oh, so she was in there with your mom and you.
No,
so you guys are all finger buddies. Oh, that sounds bad.
No. Scratch that.
You guys were all real close. Cool. I'm going to walk away now. Contemplate my life decisions.
So, we ended up keeping that phone, and I think it's on the floor in the closet, along with God knows what else. But,
yeah, you should charge it and use it and stuff.
But, yeah, so, there was that, and...
But, yeah, I'm pretty sure I was still in the middle of talking about friends and phone calls or phone numbers and whatnot. But I remember one time, like a friend of mine from Stream, he got a new phone, but never like told me he got a new phone. So like I kept texting him on this number, and he just kept ghosting me, and I'm like, all right, a little peculiar, but like we never were like message buddies, So I just like, hey, you could just be ignoring me. So like, I stopped messaging him after like maybe the 5th time that I messaged him, and he never like messaged me back. And like when I say 5th time, I meant like within like month spans of me being like, hey, like this, show him this or whatever, and no response. Like, okay, and then like the next time something was kind of cool, I was like, well, I'll send it to him again. Again, he would message me back on Messenger and stuff, but I don't do Messenger. And like, I don't understand people that like I had people get upset with me when I'd be like, I was like, just give me your phone number, and like they'd be like, no, I only message on Messenger really, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I said, I'm not like I told him, I'm sorry, I'm not a teenage girl. I don't need to be on my Messenger all the time. I just text. I don't do Facebook really. I've been promoting a lot on Instagram now, and it automatically posts to my Facebook, so it seems like I'm on Facebook.
No, after we got together, I think it was like maybe a week or two after him and I got together, I was like, so, on Facebook, are you going to change your status? Because, it's like I didn't want, people getting the wrong idea that, he's still single.
Right, or you thinking the same thing, that I'm like the other Iowa guy and just keeping it single, so that way when girls see it, they'll be like, oh, he is single.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I don't even get on Facebook. I guess I could change it.
Did you change the status? Or not our status?
It automatically changed when you change it.
Did it really?
Yeah. This time. Not, because when you first start in a relationship.
I didn't know that it did that.
Yeah, because I checked it after you changed it to see if I had to do anything, and it was like, yep. It just didn't have me do any, it didn't have any like news for me. It was only on your side.
Well, I made a post, and then it gives you like an option. It gives you an option for like work or life events, and then.
I would say it's all work here.
But what time is it now?
It's got to be 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we
10:16. We got to go to bed early. Somewhat early. 10 o'clock's not really early, but.
No, but it was great hanging out with y'all.
Because we got to get up at like 8 a.m. to get breakfast at McDonald's again. Not a sponsor. But. I mean, unless they want to be.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Everybody always gets the quarter pounder with cheese as their sponsor. We want the Big Mac.
I want the chicken nuggets, man.
She's the chicken nuggets or the spicy McChicken. Or just the regular chicken. McChicken with bacon.
Just give me bacon. Give me a fistful of bacon.
Anyways, we're going to find somebody. We're going to do like a dual raid thing. So I'll show her how to do it. You guys are going to get the sideways cameras with us. Yep. We're going to see if you have it here. Yeah, the little parachute. This will tell us who's on.
I want to raid that guy.
Yeah. Then I want to be a double raid. See, that guy's on. We haven't been there in forever. Oh, there we go.
Who? Where is he?
You can type him in too. Oh, there he is.
So then do we just click on him?
Yeah, we'll click on him. I think we click on him and then we hit start raid. So we're going to start the raid in 3, 2, 1. Our boy Burn fished.
Yeah.
He's one of our close friends.
Yeah.
So stick around, folks. Enjoy the ride and subscribe. Oh, wait, this ain't YouTube. Anyways.
Well, and thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you for listening to our story about us.
Yeah.
And, I know some of it got a little deep, but...
Hey, that's the way we are.
Alrighty, much.
I like how each single, we end the stream with single views.
Alright, so much.
Much love, everybody.
Love.
And peace.
Deuces.
The only thing about that is it doesn't take us with it.
What?